Welcome to another episode of Diversity Days. This series is your one-stop shop to understand key dates in the diversity calendar and to receive guidance on how to acknowledge important days for your workplace team members. I'm Janelle Benjamin, and today we are going to talk about the National Day of Remembrance of the Quebec City Mosque attack, an action against Islamophobia in Canada. On January 29th, 2017, a man named Alexandre Bissonnette approached the Islamic Cultural Center of Quebec City, where evening prayers had just ended. He loaded a semi-automatic rifle. He aimed it at two men who had exited the mosque, and thankfully that rifle jammed when he attempted to shoot at them. He dropped the rifle and shot them with a 9mm Glock pistol instead. The attack resulted in the death of 6 worshippers and critically injured 5 others inside the mosque. This event was an act of terrorism, make no mistake, and it was rightly described as such by both Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Quebec Premier Philippe Couillard. And in 2021, the day was designated by the Canadian government as a national day that honors survivors and victims of the 2017 shooting. At work, it is important to send a message that violence and hatred have no place in your organization. And one way to pay tribute to the victims is to commit to fighting racism, hatred, and religious discrimination every single day. Ensure you have sound anti-discrimination and anti-harassment policies with accountability mechanisms built in. I've seen organizations develop action plans or strategies to combat Islamophobia specifically. There are even some strategies that I've created to create greater inclusion, to ensure adequate places to pray, and respectful practices for things like workplace dinners or team lunches. To commemorate this day specifically, you can organize a talk or a discussion panel on Islamophobia. Host a program featuring prayers for peace and remembrance of the victims of the shooting, and invite an imam or other faith leaders to join in. The National Council of Canadian Muslims has a Green Square campaign. The color green represents the green carpet inside of the mosque where the shooting took place. It also symbolizes the hope that each of the 6 victims will have found themselves in a better place, a green garden in the afterlife. You can encourage your team members to wear green to commemorate the day, or to post a green square as their backdrop on Zoom, Teams, or Google Meet. I tried to do it, unfortunately, failed miserably since I don't have a green screen behind me. But for those who do have one, the Green Square, it is a free download on the National Council of Canadian Muslims website that team members can use in the days leading up to January 29th. So go to greensquarecampaign.ca. Beyond that, you can prepare yourself to tackle Islamophobia and hateful behavior toward Muslims whenever it is encountered. I've seen poster campaigns against Islamophobia and strong office policies to hold perpetrators accountable. This day is a solemn one, and you should absolutely expect that your Muslim colleagues will be grieving or may even want the day off. Give them the grace and space to grieve if necessary, and you could even carve out physical space in-house, supported by your Employee and Family Assistance Program provider or EAP provider, for them to come together, pray together, and feel safe. If you have a spiritual care leader at your workplace, they can work with your inclusion and wellness lead to create opportunities for sharing. And people who wear Islamic symbols of faith, like the hijab or the niqab, or even a beard, should feel comfortable showing up as their authentic selves, particularly at this time. If you need to know how to ensure greater inclusion in the workplace beyond those few ideas presented in this video, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe below, and we will see you again for another episode of Diversity Days, where you'll continue to learn how to commemorate significant dates in the diversity calendar. See you next time.